Hi, y'all. This is ZAZA Ali. Her real name is Ginger Daniels. She's a yoga enthusiast and a spiritual guru. She's 41 years old. Biracial, if you can't tell. She's racially conscious, or she claims to be. She was convicted of real estate fraud. I think the year was 2002. And she rolled over on some people, meaning she told and didn't have to do as much time as she originally intended on doing. If you don't believe me, go back and you can look all this stuff up if you wanna. I don't say waste your time being smart about it, because anytime you're told anything, you gotta check the sources. And we all know the saying: believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So you're gonna, if you're smart, you're gonna go back and verify this stuff, and it's there. She recently scammed a woman out of scammed a couple of women, a group of women. There was this yoga retreat in Myrtle Beach that they were going to go to. And it was about $1,500 a person. She managed to rack up $60,000 and had to return $15,000 because one of the ladies that were scammed went to the local news, and they got an investigative reporter to go out, and she basically got the light shined on her and gave some of the money back. But if you think about it, not that there's any such thing, if she was a true female MGTOWer producing videos, she would look like this. She ain't got no makeup on, none. She's post-wall. I really do. I consider her attractive. I think she's sexy. She's got nice lips and got the nose and the hair that I like. Would I fuck her? Yeah. Would I date her? Yeah. Would I go down on her? Yeah. So like I said, she's single. But the tattoo and the character she's got, religion, character, and physical attraction. Those are the three things that you have to base a relationship off of. Long term, short term. But ultimately, I think she would be a long term pump and dump. She was actually involved with Professor Griff from Public Enemy, involved in some money making schemes. I think he married her. I don't know what went on with that, but I didn't really dig too deep into that. But I just, and what I also know to be true too is, look at this picture here. And look at them titties. There's sex appeal there. I could get it up with her and have fun with her and probably talk to her afterwards, but she's shady. Look, she got them sunglasses on. If you don't remember, on the online of horrors dating, that one with the girl that looked like Chewbacca, or the thumbnail, her, what was I gonna say? Damn, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, nonetheless, the ZAZA Ali is sexy, and a lot of other women in this world are not, that are past the wall. But her character is shitty, and I wouldn't fuck with her like that. I probably wouldn't even fuck with her short term with her character like that. I just couldn't do it. I can't fuck with shady people. If I was up close to her, her energy would be negative if I felt that I couldn't trust her. But I wouldn't be staying with her long. Oh, that's what I wanted to get to. She's a single mom. It says she's got a son, and plus she got that tattoo on her shoulder. Nah, that's definitely not long term. That's just short term pump and dump. Once, maybe twice, but I think the bitch would start to get on my nerves, and I wouldn't want to fuck with her. Plus, with her having a son, that's worse than having a son is worse than being a single mom. If that makes any sense. You got a son, you got a boyfriend in most cases, especially these black women. Their son becomes their boyfriend because they can't get a man. They ran the father off, and he's the closest thing they can have to him. Because if you think about it, they were pretty attracted to the father. But he's not there, so any guy that comes along will be compared to him, It won't be him. And the son will know you won't be him. It's almost like, you know how they say if foreign sperm enters the vagina, the other sperm will fight it off. That's kind of what it is. That he's that living sperm, and he's there to oppose you and give you a hard time. No. No, that's what I wanted to say about the sunglasses. The fact that they hide the eyes, and they're the windows to the soul, so you can see things that you can't really see with them glasses on. And, I saw that she was having that yoga retreat. Well, I already knew she had done the real estate fraud. And I didn't think she'd be doing shit like that now. So, but I saw the yoga retreat brochure online and saw it. And, you get grandiose thoughts and you say, oh, yeah, I could go to that. I've been to Myrtle Beach. That's the thing about if you've traveled worldwide, it's easier to get to a country, a city in the United States. If you've been to fucking Ethiopia, it's easy to get to St. Louis if you've never been. You understand that concept? But yeah, and then I was thinking, I'll go to that yoga retreat because I practice yoga. I'll go to it and see if our energies connect in some way. But now that she's been exposed, she's a phony to me. It's a shame to how these pro-black, and let me, when I talk about pro-black, it don't mean beat your chest and throw the white man in chains. It just means liberate yourself, educate yourself, because if you want to fight white supremacy, the only way you can do it is to have a strong black family where you're the father at the head and you raise your kids to have good religion and character. And then if they're physically attractive, they'll find somebody that wants to marry them. And then the process continues and it just rolls over and builds on itself. And then you can pass on wealth because you've accumulated it and passed it on to the family. That's where some of that shit comes from. A lot of white families are sitting on old wealth. And but you can't do that if you got a woman that's got shitty character and has already got a seed of another man. You know what this is like when you have a child and you try to blend a family together? It's like taking a jigsaw puzzle and taking a piece off of one and taking another piece off of another and expecting the opposite pieces to fit in those opposite puzzles. It's just not going to work, man. It's just not going to work. And that's another reason why it's hard to build black families, because you've got a woman who's already procreated with some dude that wasn't worthy of procreation in a lot of cases. That's the real issue right there. And then you have people that know or think that blacks want someone to come along and resurrect them and be responsible for their spiritual growth, when it's your own responsibility to grow spiritually, no matter who you are. You can't put that responsibility off on somebody else. That's why this thing, men going their own way, it should be a whole bunch of different lines going in opposite directions, because maybe the lines would merge together for a while and then go apart again. Because when you go your own way, it's your own way. If it was you and somebody else's way, it would be called that. It's your own way. That's what the whole thing is about, you by yourself. That's why there's no leader. That's why there's no groups. That's why there's no grand poobah. None of that stuff. Okay. This next creature here, her name is CYNTHIA G. Her real name is Cynthia Green. So that's where the G comes from. They nickname her Synthetic G. All that shit she got on her face. You come out, you're supposed to be this pro-black, liberated person, but you ain't even coming out looking natural with all that makeup and shit on and that wig on your head. It just doesn't look good. And she talks about global white supremacy. That's her thing, is to want to fight that. And it's on our shoulders as black men. But all they talk about is this all they have seen is this anti-swirling campaign, which is to stop black men from dating outside their race, whereas they would not look at themselves and say that the reason why we're doing that, or some of us are doing that, is because these chicks don't know how to act. and they don't want to know how to act. They don't want to be told how to act. They don't follow the natural order of God at all because they are the most or the least submissive women on planet Earth. Ain't nobody else rebelling against their man like black women are. And I'm sick of it. And half of them don't look good. This bitch is not good looking. I wouldn't fuck her. I wouldn't go down on her. I wouldn't date her. I wouldn't have shit to do with her. And she doesn't have any children at all. And she's post-war. She's about 34 years old. And get this. This is how you know how stupid people are. She talks about she doesn't agree with blacks and whites interracially dating, but she was, when you're somebody that lives a life and wants to change and be this different person and get online and say I'm this person, but people are going to dig into your past and find out, oh no, you're that person. And she had pictures online with her out with a couple white boys. And here's her thing. Yeah, I was going, and she's got the most annoying voice. I linked up all the channels, the interviews of these women, videos of these women, all four of the women that I'm critiquing. There's something in there for you to see who these women really are. Just to hear their voices is just utterly like nerve-wracking. It's like, in Jaws when that man took his nails and slid them down a chalkboard to get everybody's attention at that meeting when they were trying to figure out what to do about the shark. That's the sound that you get when you hear her voice. There's a lot of their voices have just an annoying sound to them, annoying pitch. You wouldn't want to be involved with that, coming home to that. So she says she was dealing with the white guy because the white guy was paying her bills and she didn't give the guy sex, which I don't believe. But let's say the guy was giving her money and was expecting sex, and she pulled the carpet out from under him and slipped and he broke his neck. Well, let's say that was the case. Well, if you're against white people so much, you wouldn't went anywhere near that white man when he offered you money to do anything. You wouldn't have wanted nothing to do with him. But because it's convenient for you, you take advantage of him. I can't stand when women do that, knowing they don't want nothing from a guy but take shit from him, and then want to pawn it off, take no accountability, and say, well, he knew I had a boyfriend. I don't know why he bought me this. Bitch, you accepted it. Nah, you don't even let women get away with that. Nah, you let them know how whack they are when they do that type shit. But still, these dudes have to take accountability for their whackness too. So she says, if this guy's going to pay my bills, I'm going to let him do it. So that says that I can get online and be somebody I'm not and get people to patronize me. You don't look at the character and then know that these people, they're just scam artists. That's just what they are. But she don't got anything going on as far as where I would want to mess with her. No. And she talks that annoying talk. No. And then that's why, see, all of these women I'm about to present to you today, none of them have anybody significant in their lives that they even talk about online or pretend to talk about online. They just gripe about men. That's why they don't have one. But yet they don't want to look at themselves and say, what do we need to change? I looked at myself when I saw that I never got the memo that you shouldn't be out here looking for female validation. I thought you should be. I don't think I really got the memo, so to speak, go out here and get female validation. But I know I didn't get a memo telling me not to go out here and get that. So, yeah. So that's when I had to look at myself and say, what do I need to change? And then I got blessed with getting red pilled. That's what I consider myself, is to be straight red pilled. I'm still looking at women with sexual intent. If they arouse me, it's a shame that most of your arousal comes at looking online on a picture. You got to see everything. And so I don't know how fat some of these asses are, because I don't get a full body shot with any of them. But this one looks just too much like, she resembles somebody that was in a movie. It'll come to me later. I lose my train of thought sometimes, guys. Can't remember what I want to say. But yeah, post-war, no kids, 34, it doesn't matter, she's not attractive. Okay, this next pro-black scammer is this woman here named MEECHIE X. She's biracial, but she identifies as black, but every word out her mouth is motherfucker this and motherfucker that. Just, she wants to come off like she's educated, but she's not educated. You can hear in her English. I remember one time she said, I'm not going to harp on it. She wanted to say, I'm not going to harp on it, but she actually said, I don't want to hark on it. No, you're not educated if you say that kind of stuff. You're just not. So you can try to pass it off all you want to, but no. I don't know how true it is, but I did hear she's a convicted felon, and she's got, no, I don't know if I heard she's a convicted felon, but I definitely know I heard she's got kids. I've heard 5 and I've heard 3, but I've heard 2 of them are in jail. You can't build with a woman like that. When I talked about, like I said it in the past, to combat global white supremacy has to be done with a family that's got good morals and values. On that Cosby Show type shit. You need to raise a Huxtable type family. That's how you combat global white supremacy. And I'm not marrying no woman, nor is no man that's worth 2 fucks gonna marry a woman that's got that kind of past history. What kind of dudes were you choosing where they followed in their father's footsteps and became criminals, and their mother allegedly's got some criminal ties too? No. No. But looking at her, her sexual marketplace value is low because she's hit the wall and she's fat. But I would hang out with this chick, smoke out with her, and probably have sex with her. Maybe go to the movies once in a while. But no real, like, yo, let's go to Jamaica. No, nothing like that. Or let me take your kids school shopping. No, or take them jail shopping, whatever. Put some money on her kid's commissary. No. Fuck no. No. So, but if you want to hear how she talks, I linked her up in the description box too. And any man worth anything would I would probably steer clear from her totally now because I'm older, and my sex drive just isn't like that where I would put up with a personality like that just to have sex with her. It just wouldn't be worth it because I would already know I don't want nothing from this bitch. Finally, fellas, the last race hustler that's a female, and an attractive one at that. She's got big eyes, nice lips, and she's straight black. She ain't mixed with anything. She ain't got no kids. She's about 25 years old. And in this actual video here that she took down because it incriminates her, she talked about how she loves black men, doesn't like white men, doesn't find them attractive, would never date one, never kiss one. And if you know anything about psychology, she's lying when she's making these statements, because if you look at her eyes, you can just tell. I'm not going off into that deep, but if you know, you know. And I know. I mean, she said she used to be an Uber driver, and she came across 2 guys, a black guy and a white guy. They were friends, and the white guy was part of an alternative rock group, and she likes rock music. So, he tries to pick her up, tries to date her or whatnot. But when she thought he was part of a rock group that was popular and could get, his status made her interested in him, no matter, because she says she doesn't like white guys, but his status of being a high profile alternative rock member, she gave her his number. She says it right there in this interview that you're looking at right now. So, if you don't like white guys, you don't do that. You just don't do that. It's very hypocritical. Very hypocritical. Allegedly, she had another scam going where she went by the name of Paris Milan Williams. She allegedly was one of the Williams sisters who was trying to get a GoFundMe together so she could get a coach to coach her, which is bullshit. If you're any good, why would you need to pay somebody to coach you? Come on now. Or if you're a Williams sister, they got the means to help you along. But that's not always the case. because believe it or not, this is off topic. Floyd Mayweather has a brother who has a MGTOW channel, and it didn't have very many views or anything, not a lot of subscriptions. And I just was looking at it because he was talking about status and how women gravitate towards status. And when he said that he was Floyd Mayweather's brother, and I looked at him and I saw the resemblance, and I said, yeah, he is. He had more credibility with me. So I know a woman would be like, ooh, ooh. But anyway, getting back to Paris, man. Yeah. She had this scam where she was trying to be a Williams sister, trying to get her tennis career started. I looked her tennis career up. She was 0-1, and she lost 6-love, 6-love, and then that was the end of the match. I never played tennis. I don't know the scoring or anything, but I guess if you get beat, get skunked twice, they don't even deem you worthy enough to even play a third match. So that was that for her tennis career. You know, just trying to get a scam. And allegedly she did this ghetto gagging shit, which is, you know, basically porn where you got a bunch of racist white dudes who smut out black women, ejaculate in their face, spit in their face, slap them, I'm sure. Anal sex, real raw to where it bleeds. It's like real disgusting shit, man. And she allegedly got involved in that. I want to not believe it, but I kind of believe it because the way she talks, she's got that Black Valley girl type shit. She like overdoes it. And like I said, she likes alternative rock. What niggas was she hanging around with where they were playing alternative rock? No. If she was saying, well, she's probably a little too young, but any girl that was messing with a guy from my era would probably know, would definitely know Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, people like that. Not no motherfucking Hootie and the Blowfish. I don't know who alternative rock groups are. I don't listen to that. So she must have been hanging with people whose culture was alternative rock. So that's not black people. So yeah, she allegedly did this ghetto gagging shit. And you know, see, the video I hooked up with her has got her talking about, now this is where you got to be smart and think about this. She talked about the ghetto gagging incident as far as, well, not the incident, but talked about ghetto gagging is out there and it's a very deplorable thing. Because remember, she's supposed to be pro-black. So she talks about ghetto gagging, talking about how bad it is as sort of a way to deflect and to wash her hands of ever being involved in it. If you think about what I'm saying, it makes a lot of sense. And now this is how now you're pro-black, no makeup, looking pretty natural here, and then you go to this. And then, no. I knew right there that something's not right. So what I did was I kind of tested her a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned this enough times on this channel, but I wanted to be a program or a channel that had history lessons about American history that's been, you know, not reported because it lets us see how corrupt our nation has been over the years. So, you know, you necessarily have history that you omit. And I sent her a story about a faction of the KKK, which is called the Red Shirts. And they basically led a protest where they marched up in the courthouse in Wilmington, North Carolina, and at gunpoint marched the elected officials that happened to be black at gunpoint, put them on a train and sent them up north. And I sent her facts about it. I said it was the Red Shirts. Rutherford B. Hayes was president at the time, and it was in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I basically said they marched them niggas out of office at gunpoint, put them on a train, sent them up north. And she never did the story. So I'm like, okay, yeah, she might be a fraud here. She just might be a fraud. And she gets dolled up and has simps talking about how pretty she is and sending her money. And it's disgusting. I mean, she did this so she wouldn't have to revert back to Uber driving. because Uber drivers don't make a lot of money. They just don't. And I seen her. She had a live stream. She sent me her live stream when she's with Cynthia G, and I'm like, oh no, no. And then, I sent her another email telling her that the reason why I don't deal with the blacks is because all y'all do is bicker and be on some Wendy Williams type shit. And she eventually put a video out saying she was distancing herself from all those people. But now this comes up. I'm just done being fooled by women, period. Women are just so much the chameleons. And now I see it. I saw it. It just like, there's no way this chick is real because she's putting all this shit on her face before she gets on camera with her breast showing, not completely showing, but showing cleavage, just dolling herself up to get guys that still think with their dicks to talk to her. And if I still or want to talk to her or want to listen to her and follow her on Instagram and everything else and give her ass money, if I still thought with my dick, I would be at least, I don't know what I'd be doing, but I would be doing more than just sitting back waiting for this bitch to get exposed. Oh, before I forget, this video, a lot of this information I got was from a Brian Spolonge, Spolonge. I want to give him a shout out. He's got a good channel. He's got a good perspective on these chicks. It's like 4 hours on Paris, man, because she took down a lot of the stuff that she originally put up herself because it would come back to incriminate her. And that, okay, let's run it all down. You got ZAZA Ali. She just got shitty character, so I wouldn't want to fuck with her. And then you got Cynthia G and Paris Milan. All they do is talk about the black men that are swirling and the black men that have basically don't want to fuck with black women no more. And they don't look at themselves and say, what are we doing to make black men not want to fuck with us? They ain't doing that. They just condemning and throwing the black dudes under the bus, calling them dusty and shit, beta males, because they want to date outside their race because they're tired of their fucking attitudes. That's why they're doing it. Fuck out of here, man. But if that's who you like, that's who you like. They shouldn't even be worried about it. You think black men are sitting around worrying about women that date outside their race? You really think we're concerned about that shit? We don't give a fuck about that. Well, I mean, God, I can't believe that that's the biggest thing that Cynthia G talks about, and she's supposed to be in support of denouncing global white supremacy. Okay, I'm aware of the fact that, okay, all this interracial dating that you see in the media and see on commercials, it's all about drowning out the black race. Because if you take a black man such as myself and I procreate with a white female, it's going to create a mulatto child, half-breed, biracial, whatever you want to call it. And the plan is for that child to procreate with a white person when it's time for them to procreate. So not this generation, but the next generation, they're expecting less and less pure black people. I'm aware of all that. But they're not saying it as a way, they're not, no. They're not looking at it like we going against white supremacy for that perspective of it. They're just jealous of these white women, or these non-black women, I should say, who are having a better success rate dating outside their race than they are with these chicks. And it is what it is. Now, MEECHIE X, she's nothing more than a ghetto-type half-breed that basically showed how black she was so she could fit in with them niggas on the school bus. I guarantee you she started giving white people a hard time to impress the niggas on the school bus. I could just tell that's what she's about. But if I'm wrong, so what? I'm close enough that I know that she ain't somebody that you want to procreate with and want to spend your time with trying to build some shit with. Just the same with Paris. When I seen that makeup and shit, I was like, you know what? She can't be what she is, but I'm going to follow her anyway. She's a millennial, and maybe she just doesn't know that weave and makeup just ain't the way to go. And as far as ZAZA Ali, as soon as I saw that she was a scam artist, I was like, okay, I'll follow what she does. Maybe I'll go to one of her yoga retreats if I feel like it. $1,500 ain't nothing to me. And if I happen to come across her and our energy is right, then maybe. But that's a long shot, especially when I know you a stuck-up chick like that. But ZAZA, she's post-wall, and I actually find her attractive to be post-wall, so that's disappointing. But her character says I'm not fucking with her. But yeah, these women, and this supposed to be the best of what we got to choose from. I'll stay single. Much love, Mick Towers.